Hi Dr. Akins. Hello class. My name is Heather Golden and I'm going to go over my final assessment project for you today. And it is assessing engagement and campus culture at the Women's College of the University of Denver. A little bit of background information about why I chose this topic for my assessment is that if you don't know, I am an academic advisor at the Women's College of the University of Denver. At the Women's College, advisors take on many roles, and part of that is looking at student engagement and student retention. So what I would like to do with this assessment is look at the mission and the vision of the Women's College and make sure that it's aligning with our students and their self-identities and how they engage with the college. There had been a previous assessment of culture completed by Vaccaro in 2005. And I'm using this previous engagement as a benchmark for my future assessments. The objective is to make sure that we are providing the students with activities and other things that will meet their needs, such as programming and advising sessions and financial aid workshops, the different things that we offer, looking at how they meet our students' needs. And the assessment will be a very large scope. There's only 300 students at the Women's College. I would hope to utilize for at least my survey 250 of them, and the reason why I choose that number is because I would be excluding my personal advisees from this assessment so that there would be no conflict of interest. So for the definition of engagement, I am using Kuh's 2003 definition, which involves it's where students devote time and energy to engaging activities inside and outside of the classroom, and also looks at how the institution has policies and practices that work with students and entice them to participate in that engagement. I am also utilizing Harper and Quay for a more holistic view of student engagement as well. This is a very good book. And then I also, in my literature review, I used the Assessment Practices in Student Affairs by Shu and Upcraft. This is an excellent resource. It actually detailed how to complete a campus culture assessment in here, so that was very helpful for my project. For my methodology, I used a feminist methodology, mainly because I believe as a researcher in focusing in on the stories of women and women's voices and where they are not included. So really focusing on what these women students need and using their own voices and how they self-identify and seeing if it aligns with what the college is providing them. For my methods, I plan on utilizing 3 methods for triangulation of my data. So my first method would be focus groups, which I know are very time-consuming and lengthy, but for a campus culture assessment, they are very appropriate because it gives you a lot of qualitative data. Part of selecting the students to participate in focus groups, it would be a random selection from my fellow advisees, students who they advise. And I would invite over 50% more participants than needed because research has shown that when not all attendees come to the focus groups. There will be a follow-up survey with individuals after the focus groups to see if there was anything that they wished that they could have said but not in a group setting. That will be what follows the focus groups. And finally, there will be a survey that will be made up of questions from the data that I found during the focus groups. That will be administered online using Qualtrics. And for selecting the population, I am using students from the Women's College, and like I said, it will be 250 students because I do not want to use my own advisees for conflict of interest, and I believe that that's that. So to talk about some of my assessment goals that I had placed early in the semester, I have reached all three of my goals from our first paper that we completed for this class. My first was to have a better understanding of the technology and terminology that involves assessment. I feel now with writing this paper and taking this class, I can very easily use the jargon that is associated with assessment and understand what I'm hearing. I also have a better understanding of what method of data collection is best for certain situations. Very helpful when time or resources are a factor. And I also now know what to do with the data once it's collected and how reports are presented. So this is very interesting to me because previously I had participated in data collection but never knew what to do with it after it was collected. So this has been very helpful. And just some points about how this will help my future career. I recently attended the NACADA conference and they had 3 different breakout sessions that involved assessment, and there were only 8 different time blocks. So almost half of the time blocks had assessment topics. So it's just really interesting to see how this is growing in the field of advising and how essential it is for future jobs. Also, I think it's really important to be able to assess the effectiveness of a program, especially if you are creating new programs and services. Having the data to back up what you are doing is helpful. And I am also creating currently an assessment for our enrollment conferences that will utilize Qualtrics and have new students evaluate their first meetings with advisors. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I will have my references and my PowerPoint available as well as this link. All right, good luck with the rest of your quarter. Thank you.